think one thing that Americans are kind of amazed by is here's this Conservative Party, and suddenly we have almost no white men running for the. We had one, I think, Tom Tugendhat, really serious candidate. You have Rishi Sunak, a non-white son of immigrants, or was he actually an immigrant? No, he was born here.
He was born here, but his parents were immigrants. Yeah.
Yeah. You had
Then
this.
you had Kemi Badenoch, a Nigerian who came here when she was 16 years old. And she, by the way, was the members' favourite. If she'd made it to the last two, she would have been the new prime minister. And I think she would have been remarkable. I mean, here we've got, this isn't somebody like Obama who's born in America. This is somebody who is African, who is very much in touch with her roots, and had absolutely electrified the Conservative Party membership, who were all set to vote for her. She was the insurgent candidate, perhaps too much of an insurgent, because she didn't make enough friends amongst the MPs. And it's the lawmakers who choose the final two. So they decided that Rishi Sunak and Liz Truss should go through, and that Kemi Badenoch, who was the polls show she would have beaten any other contender had it gone to the final stage of the members. She has been denied this. So we would very easily have been looking at not just Britain's first African-British Prime Minister, if you want to call it that, but somebody who really would have changed the story of conservatism. I mean, I used to work with Kemi. She was here at The Spectator as a digital editor.
Tell me about her.
She's an incredible woman. Now, she's very visceral, and her view of politics is very much informed by growing up in Nigeria. I remember the first time that I was, the mob came after me digitally. You know, I'm sure it's happened to you once or twice, Andrew.
Every now and again.
Kemi was saying, you know, this sort of thing, this is what I can see online now with cancel culture, is what I would see in Nigeria. I would see a lynch mob where a mob would go after some crook or somebody villain and they tried to kill him, and everybody would come together and try to give him a kick, and then they go back about their business. So this is part of human nature. And so she was quite often refer the things that she saw and the cultural values back to when she was growing up. She would always see in Britain the country she admired from afar. So she would see our liberal values, she would see our constitution, she would see all these things that she admired and loved. She grew up seeing Britain as the shining city on the hill. Then she came to it, and then she was like, my God, these are the values which I believed in Nigeria. You guys don't take them seriously here. So why are you not defending them? Why are you not defending your culture? Why are you not defending your faith? Why are you allowing these idiots from campus to come and write off all of your cultural achievements? So she was really quite angry about what she regarded as the inability of the British Conservative Party to defend and protect and conserve Britain. So you had this very strange combination of this African black woman who would come over and talk in terms, jingoistic terms, about Britain's values, how great it was to be British, why she was so pro-Brexit at the time. When the magazine my Spectator was ambivalent about it, she would take me aside and she's saying, what's the matter with you? Don't you believe in this country? You know, and so she has this raw passion, this raw energy of somebody who chose Britain, you know, not just chose conservatism, but who chose Britain, and is able to make Brits feel very good about the country that they live in. So she's got this optimism as well as radicalism. And she's very much against big state conservatism. She would think the government's got, you know, way too big out of its use. And also she took the culture wars very seriously. So to her, this was conservatism. What you might call the anti-woke, I'm not quite sure what you'd call it, but her argument was that every generation of conservatives has things which rally them to the cause. Now, in my generation, it might have been communism versus capitalism. For another one, it might have been, you know, the tax burden, or, you know, it might be defense spending. I'm not quite sure what makes you a conservative. But she was saying that to this new generation, the experience that they will have in their colleges and universities of being targeted by political correctness, by woke, the gender pronouns, that this will create people who've got a visceral hatred of the kind of nascent authoritarianism. And what she saw is the rekindling of racism, a racism that will look at somebody and define them by their skin color, which she thought he moved away from. Kemi's got a white husband, obviously mixed race kids, and all of a sudden she's finding herself going back into a world where she and her husband and her kids were going to be judged by the colour of their skin, not the content of their character.